You are listening to Lead Through Strengths, where you'll learn to apply your greatest strengths at work. And today, joining me is Strother Gaines, in from DC, here in the studio in Austin, Texas. You're bringing up for me the question, how do you start to take these things where you might have opposites? So let's say you're a process it in the moment, talk it out, come up with the ideas right now, pew, pew, pew. And somebody else is the opposite. Hey, let me do my best thinking on it. Let me take a minute with it, give me a beat, and then I'll come back and I'll give you much better work that way. So I think people can figure out, hey, we headbutt, or we don't think the same way. Yeah. But then, what do you do with it? Because I love to tell people, hey, that's the perfect partnership. You can plan in advance to be the yin-yang to each other. But then when you're in the moment and it feels like conflict, what do you actually do or say to invite the difference and not be defensive or not kind of push your way on to someone?
I think it's setting that conversation up before it gets emotional. This is something that I recommend across the board. Partnerships, companies, coworkers, everything. Before we're in it, before it's you need 2 weeks and I want to do it right now, having a conversation where we recognize when we get to that place, this is what we're both going to want. So what should we do? Let's plan now, before we're both emotional about it, before we're trapped in it. It's like, you never do anything the way I want you to. Sitting down and saying, you need this. This is what you would like. I'm going to want this. What can we do? And then we're not governed by that moment. And we get into that moment, you sort of do that in emergency break glass, where you're just like, whoop, we're there. Activate protocol 7. And then we've agreed, and we're going to run through with that instead of letting our emotions sort of drag us all around.
Oh, that's so good. That's Marshall Goldsmith level emotional intelligence. Right, yeah. Don't get hijacked by the emotion in the moment. Plan what you're going to do in advance. Because then your intelligent thinking is there.
Let that logical mind come through and make a plan before you get there. Emotions are wonderful. I love emotions, but we oftentimes are like, well, when I get there, I'll be able to rein it in. Usually not. Sometimes maybe.
You shut down.
Yeah, you're like, well, now just fine, whatever you want. We'll do whatever you want. And the shutting down looks different for everybody. But if you use that logical, brilliant brain of yours beforehand and just put stuff in place, it's so much easier to deal with it when you are hijacked.
Which is going to happen.
Oh, yeah. You can't avoid, and like that's, when you try and avoid that emotional hijack, you're actually shutting yourself off to a lot of the things that, those are the red flags for you. These are important things. This is your body saying, you need to pay attention to this. So you don't ever want to turn off the emotional response, but you don't want to be governed by it exclusively. So it's great. It's like you don't ever, everyone thinks, well, I don't want pain receptors. But that's a horrible disease that people have when they can't feel pain because their body is just they broke their arm and they don't know. And you need those emotions to flare up and say, hey, pay attention. But then, if you can snap back into your logical brain, you're going to have a better outcome.
Thanks for listening to Lead Through Strengths, where you can apply your greatest strengths at work. Hope you get at least one tip that you can take today in terms of keeping your commitment to yourself, keeping your commitment to your strengths. And if you want a little help with that, get Strother in the house. He's good at keeping you honest at doing this stuff. Bye for now.
Bye.